Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do my thing on it. She hit my line 100 times, I let it ring on it. These niggas must be out their mind, cause I'm the king on it. You know my thing, that's what I bring on it. Cause I'm the king on it. Okay. Respect a nigga when I check a nigga. Respect a nigga when I check a nigga. I'm too far gone, I probably left a nigga. Respect a nigga when I check a nigga. I just want them dollars, nigga, you can keep the change. Unsatisfied until we on a private plane. I be with them soldiers ready to die over a name. Once that oil hit my head, I never been a yeah, yeah, yeah. I do my thing on it. She hit my line 100 times, I let it ring on it. These niggas must be out their mind, cause I'm the king on it. You know my thing, that's what I bring on it. Cause I'm the king on it. Okay. Respect a nigga when I check a nigga. Respect a nigga when I check a nigga. I'm too far gone, I probably left a nigga. Respect a nigga when I check a nigga. I just want them dollars, nigga, you can keep the change. Unsatisfied until we on a private plane. I be with them soldiers ready to die over a name. Once that oil hit my head, I never been a
sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch with Commanding General YAHANNA, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he made man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
We don't need a black man in the White House. We need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
Not walking out there. We're standing by for Commanding General YAHANNA. He's on deck. He'll be here shortly. We're here with General Hazayan. Give him a hand. Officer Marab, Officer Yediah, Officer Ibad, Officer Matemyad. We're getting it on hitting here tonight. We're going to tell you the truth. If you're tired of being lied to, you're in the right place. We're going to go into the stories of today. We're going to talk about the Puff Diddy. We're going to talk about the stories of today. We're going to brief you on World War III. Every day you should wake up and ask yourself, am I one day closer to the judgment of my enemy and to the redemption of my people? Every day ask yourself that question, because World War III is at hand. Right. And we'll go into that. And of course, we'll answer your questions that you might want to put into the chat room. Miraz on top of that. Officer Yediah will break down the current stories for us, the ones that we don't know anything about. He'll explain those things to us, and we'll rock it out, Warriors. Everyone understands. Let's get it on, Officer Yediah.
Colonel Khan. They were on his side. Prosecutors won't pursue criminal case against Florida man who fantasized about shooting small black girl who rang his doorbell, outraged mother says.
Break this story down for me. Listen, I was hoping Captain Ariel was in here because there's a few stories tonight that I do not understand about the American legal system. I don't get it. I can't make any sense of it. It seems incoherent from state to state. I don't understand. But here's a cop. I'm sorry. This is a white man, right? This is an average white citizen, an average Joe. Is that correct, Yediah? He told everyone he fantasized about killing a black child. He talked about it openly. Then one day, I think a black child rung his doorbell, and he unalived her. He unalived the child. And the prosecutor said they're not going to pursue an indictment. They're not going to pursue pressing charges against him. Please try to help me to understand, Officer Yediah.
He didn't unalive her, sir, but I have his quote, which was diabolical.
Go Please, go ahead.
Colonel Wakam. It says, against Tyler Chambers, a Tampa Bay area homeowner who went viral earlier this year after he posted a doorbell camera image of Shabazz's 9-year-old daughter with the caption, you're lucky we weren't home to shoot your dumb ass.
She said, now what was the girl doing ringing his doorbell?
Colonel McComb.
Go ahead.
Colonel McComb. It says state attorneys won't prosecute a Florida man who fantasized about shooting a black child on social media after she knocked on his door to sell some of her toys and candy, the girl's mother states.
A girl knocked on his door to try to sell chocolate, them chocolate bars, huh? Like the Girl Scouts do every day, right? And then he sent her a message saying, you're lucky I wasn't home to shoot your dumb ass, because she knocked on his door to see candy, not to sell candy. Now I understand why he didn't get arrested, Haas, because not only is what he did completely legal, it is accepted Now, here's what I need everyone out there to answer. This is a question I have for everyone. What religion do you think he is?
Woo.
That's all I need to understand. Because since my short time in the Truth House, the Israelite school under commanding General YAHANNA has been hated because they say that we practice hate speech, that we're a hate group. My entire time in the Truth and commanding General YAHANNA's much long time in the truth, been accused of being in a hate group because he goes out on the street and on the internet and talks about slavery, talks about lynchings, talks about the Spanish conquistadors and the United States cavalry. And commanding General YAHANNA is brandished a hate monger and in a hate group. This white man, a little black girl, rung his doorbell and said, "Would you like to buy some candy?" He sent her a message saying, "If I was home, I would have shot you." Now you ask yourself, what religion is he in? And you know the answer.
Yes, sir.
You know he's not an atheist, don't you?
All right.
Everybody knows that, House.
Yes, sir.
You know he's not a Muslim, right? You know he's not a Scientologist or some kooky. You know he's not a Buddhist, don't you?
Yeah.
Right? Everyone that sees this man knows that he is a Christian, and his Christianity is in no conflict with his hatred and his bloodlust to kill blacks and Hispanics.
That's right.
What I would just like to understand is, why aren't you calling Christians a hate group?
Right.
Why aren't you calling the police on them when they set up a church on your street corners? Why aren't you complaining that there are too many churches on your block?
Right.
You complain about us.
Yeah.
Why aren't you complaining about them? The Christian church is a hate group.
Yep.
Everything they do, everything they say confirms that. I would just like a Christian to make me understand why you don't consider them a hate group. Right. How's it, you want to go?
Yeah. This right here falls on the doorstep of all them Christians. The Christian pastors, I'm talking about everybody across America. Every Christian pastor who is so-called black, Hispanic, Native Indian, this right here falls on you. Because instead of trying to fix the ghetto and make the ghetto right, you got everybody moving to our precious neighborhood and feeling safe there when you ain't safe there, man.
Forget about it.
Why are we moving out there when we can make our own homeland, our ghetto, our body, our reservation safe? You understand? But because of them so-called leaders we got, them Christian pastors, is why this is going on. This is why this can happen.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to happen because of them. The Bible says in Ezekiel the 13th chapter about getting ready for the day of the battle. And they have not prepared us for the day of the battle. That's why they can say that what they're saying to us. Huh?
Forget about it. General Hazayan is saying is the truth.
That's right.
I just wonder why you Christians don't have any love in your heart. I just wonder about that. Where's your mercy? Where's your kindness? Where's your blessed? Come unto me, ye little children. Where's your kindness at? I've never understood why people could join a religion that is so full of hate like Christianity. I just can't understand it. Yediah.
I'm gonna say one thing, right?
Please, sir. Please, Haas, go ahead.
I remember when I was in our precious military, right? And I wanted to get back into going and services and all that shit, right? So I started going to church in the military, right? And he saw our precious military. And we had a brother that was giving service, right? And he was, doing the whole, he was trying not to be too, I guess, ghetto with it, but he was going there. And I want to say a week later, they had another cat come in there and take over. I mean, quick, fast, in a hurry. And I was saying to myself, like, wow, why did this happen? Why did he switch the way they did? And you could see when he was there, he was show up with him. You could see he was rejected. Like his spirit was gone from him because of what was going on. He would sit behind the cat and look like he just been crushed. And I'll never forget that. You understand? I'll never forget that part right there. It's like,
well, General Haas is saying, because I guarantee so many Christians or people that tried to go to the Christian church had the same experience. There is a way to stay in charge of a church, and that is to be a Uncle Tom. You're going to have to become an Uncle Tom to be approved of America. And no one will say you're in a hate group, no matter how much you teach blacks and Hispanics to forgive the unforgivable treatment that they receive from white people.
Right.
And you never demand that white people ever accept the treatment that they've given to other people.
Right.
That's what Christianity would do. If Christianity was really Christian, if it really followed Christ, it would demand justice for the Hispanics, demand justice for black people, for the North American Indians, because that's what Jesus Christ taught. Justice, responsibility, being accountable for your actions. It would demand it. But instead, the Christian church makes white people innocent without repentance.
Right.
Innocent without a change of heart.
Right.
And it makes black people subservient with no reason to serve the people above them.
Yes, sir.
That's the Christian church. That's what they do. And you're not going to be able to be a deacon, a bishop, anything, an usher in the church, Christian church, without thinking like that, Haas, which is what you found out when you were in the world.
Yeah, General, that blew my mind.
Forget
And
about
you know, people stopped coming. Like a lot of the brothers and stuff, they stopped coming. I know I did. I said I ain't going back.
Well, Brock can tell you how while y'all was shy.
Nah.
The numbers say that black men ran out of that Christian church.
General,
Hispanic men, I mean, in droves, stopped going to church up. You know, even they're in the world, but they still couldn't be hustled anymore.
Yeah.
Now the Christian church is full of lonely black and Hispanic women who go there to feed their empty soul that needs to get fed by attention, by songs and dances and purses and flowers.
You know, something happened at one place we were going to when I was in the world when I was a kid, right? My pop said, we ain't going back no goddamn more. Now, my mom was one of them staunch Baptists. You understand me? Grew up in West Philly. Matter of fact, the church they went to was right there on 63rd and Malvern, right by the bus stop, the train stop right there. That's the one they went to, right? And we used to go, and then went somewhere else. Something happened in that church. I don't know what happened. He came home and said, we ain't going no more. That's it. No more. She looked, he said, that's it, no more. So what we do on Sundays, she played Mary Mason every Sunday.
What's Mary Mason?
Mary Mason was that lady who had the...
Oh, damn! Ooh, you took me back. Yes, Mary Mason. You got to be really from Philly to know who that is. You got to be from Philly to know who Mary Mason was on the radio.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hi.
Yes, sir.
And that was the church.
That was
growing up.
That's all we did. Mary Mason Sunday morning.
Mary Mason. I ain't heard that name in
she would make
25 years.
Make breakfast, Mary Mason. That's all we would do. Nothing else. When he said that was it, that was it. And I kind of was glad because I seen some things happen to some of the people who my friends growing up in there. And one cat still on drugs. You know what I mean? It blew my mind. That's something, but you know what? My pop was right on what he did. And he's still on business. And here's the key that was good for me. Even though my mom was raised in that and was a strong Christian, when he made his foot down, put his foot down, made the law in the house, she ain't buck. She followed.
Give her a hand.
Yeah, I mean, most eyes
well done, mama. Well done. Well done. Go ahead, Yediah, please.
Sorry, sir.
I'm sorry.
We got General Mayaka on.
Give General Mayaka a hand.
What's going on, sir?
General Mayaka on deck.
Y'all bashing my shot back at the.
I see you, Mayaka.
Y'all bashing my thumb.
Is it something you wanted to say, Mayaka?
No. I'm just coming in. I'm trying to figure out what the topic is right now. So I can.
We were talking about, the same old thing. Cops killing blacks and Hispanics.
Normal every day.
Killing them on schedule.
Good.
Every day.
What time is it? They on time.
That's all, Mayaka.
Good.
Go ahead, Yediah.
Come. Meant to confuse the issue, new video shows Michigan cop barreling down the road at 117 miles per hour with no lights or sirens before killing 2 black men. Now lawyers want the victims to take the blame.
Do we have the video? Let me tell you, this story, and this is something that I've been thinking about all week, Mayaka and Oz, right? This is for the life of me, being a servant, a public servant in the Israelite school of UPK. As everyone knows, Commanding General YAHANNA raises us up in here to serve other people.
That's right.
We go to camp and we go on the internet, and our job is not to serve ourselves, but to serve the people who are not in the truth.
That's right, sir.
To give them the life everlasting that we've been offered, to give them the food that we eat, to give them the thing that we drink from so they can drink from it and thirst no more. Our entire life is about serving people in the UPK. And when I watch police officers and especially people in the white man's military, this I will never understand. And I hope you will understand it from this story. This story, Yediah, is about what? A cop was doing what, Officer Yediah?
He was speeding.
A cop was speeding, and he drove on the sidewalk.
Come.
He drove on the sidewalk chasing what, Yediah?
Con.
I believe a drunk driver.
Con.
Or an alleged drunk driver, because this man, of course, has not been convicted of any crime, just like OJ has not been convicted of murder. He saw a person that was speeding. That's all he knew at the time. To catch this person, the person was on the road. To catch him, the cop went on the sidewalk to cut him off, to catch this person. In doing so, he killed someone. Am I correct, Yediah?
Con.
How many people? 1 or more than 1?
2 people, sir.
He killed 2 people in pursuit of a car that was running from him. When they finally caught up to the man after the cop killed 2 civilians, the man was drunk. His blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit. Of course, the cop didn't know that until they caught the man. I'm sorry.
Salaki, sir, the 2 brothers that he killed, you know what I mean, that he ran in the back of, they're trying to say because one of the brothers was, through the toxicology report, was drunk, they're trying to blame them. But if he wasn't speeding and running into them, everybody still be alive.
Okay, hold up. I'm getting confused again. Who did he kill? Who did the cop unalive?
He unalived 2 brothers that was in a vehicle, sir. And
okay, he unalived the 2 people he was chasing.
He wasn't even chasing them.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He
unalived 2 people that he was not chasing. Yediah?
He wasn't even chasing them.
So who was he chasing? He was chasing somebody, right?
It just said he was going 115 miles, sir, with no lights or no sirens.
But it didn't say why he was doing this in pursuit of someone?
Sir. It just said he was going.
Listen, man, there's so many things I don't understand, Haas. I wish I could talk to white people. I wish I could interview them to make me understand this, because this is what Yediah is telling me tonight. That this cop, for some reason, was on the sidewalk, right? Chasing somebody doing something. Going 100 miles per hour, Yediah. 117 on the sidewalk. The people he hit, were they in a car, Yediah?
No, sir.
The people he hit, he killed, he unalived them. They were drunk. He was not chasing them. And so after they drug tested the dead bodies, they saw that the dead bodies had a blood alcohol level that was twice the legal limit. Do we have video what we can play, Mara, or not? Is this it or not? You don't know if we can play it. Salakia. I'll just break it down for you. I just told you the story just now, right?
General, what just happened in Detroit?
This happened in Detroit, Yediah? Yes,
so
sir.
This was Detroit Police Department.
And Yediah, is this the story where he had no sirens on? I read a story about the police racing to do whatever and with no sirens or anything and kill somebody. Is this the same thing?
Khan, sir. It says he was going 115 with no emergency lights or sirens, sir.
No emergency lights, no sirens, Mayak. Go ahead, Mayak.
That was it. The whole thing is ridiculous. Like, they are free to do whatever in any situation, no matter what harm. But boy, let us drop a cup that causes a car to crash, that causes another car to hurt an old lady. We getting charged for the old lady for dropping the cup. So
yeah.
I yield.
So Mayak, so these 2 men are dead. They're blaming the dead bodies.
Damn.
They're looking at the drug alcohol level of 2 corpses.
Of the dead men.
Of the dead men. And they're saying it was their fault because they were driving drunk while he was on the sidewalk.
Can I ask a question?
Only in America.
Only in America. Go ahead, Al.
What kind of call was he responding to? Does it say? Does it say what kind of call was the shots fired? Shots fired.
That's what I'm asking. I would love to understand.
I want to know what kind of call he was responding to. Because a lot of times cops don't put on licensed sirens or lights because they, I don't know why. I guess they consider themselves trying to sneak up on it and not let the criminal know he's coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Khan said he says he was pursuing a suspect in a supposed stolen vehicle.
This is something he's trying to get down a car thief, Mayak and Haas. on the sidewalk, 116 miles per hour, kills 2 brothers. Later, they found out the dead bodies had drank too much that night. However, if I could say one part, and this is the part I would love for an actual police officer in the white man police force to explain to me. If you are a cop, if you are a police officer in America, you're the one that's supposed to risk your life. You're not supposed to risk mine. If you're a cop, isn't it your job to put your life in danger? So many times when a cop kills somebody, the cop says, oh, I thought he had a gun. Oh, I thought that he had a gun on him. I thought that 9-year-old boy who had a toy gun, I thought it was real. So for the sake of preserving my life, because I was in fear of my life, I killed an unarmed black man because I was in fear of my life. You see, I served Commanding General YAHANNA, so I know what it means to put my life in danger. Right. What I don't understand is, why do cops think that they can become cops without putting their life in danger? Right. It's your job to put your life in danger, not ours. Right. You're the one that's supposed to risk your life, not people on the sidewalk, not people driving, not a little boy who has a toy gun, not a boy with a hoodie on, not a boy who reaches for his wallet. How many times is a cop going to kill someone and the excuse be the cop was trying to save his life? You're not supposed to save your life. You're not. You're supposed to say, doing this job means I take the risk of losing my life so that I can save someone else's. So I don't care who he was chasing. If you're chasing Jeffrey Dahmer, you cannot kill someone in pursuit of Jeffrey Dahmer. The people have to survive. You're the one that has to die. If someone needs to die, if I think that this man might have a gun, if there's a chance that he doesn't, I'm supposed to get shot to make sure that I don't shoot someone else that shouldn't be shot. Isn't that the job? Because or else, what are we doing then? Because here we are every day putting our life in danger, not carrying guns at camp, not hurting other people, suffering. Why? Because the last thing we would ever do in the Israelite school of UPK is risk the life of someone we're supposed to serve. Right. Why are police able to do it? Why are they able to take the overtime and the prestige and the job without the danger? There's supposed to be some danger, isn't there? What are all these fucking movies about then? Why are cops getting all these movies and TV shows if really it's a job where you never put your life in doubt? I don't care if it is a wallet. I can shoot him because I thought it was a gun. I don't care if he is 9 years old. I thought his toy gun was real, so I can shoot him. If the job doesn't have any danger, why do you get so much prestige for doing it? Let me tell you cops out there something. If you're a cop out there, if someone has to die when you're on your job, let it be you. Yep. Don't let it be a passenger in a car, a 9-year-old boy who has a toy gun, a man who's reaching for his wallet, a passerby who happens to be on a sidewalk. You know who should have died that night? The cop, not the brother who had too much to drink. There isn't a death penalty for driving drunk. You're not supposed to let the citizens die so you save your life. What have I heard for 40 years? Well, the police officer, it's a risky job. It's supposed to be dangerous. Yeah. You know it should not be dangerous, right? Being 9 years old. Right. It should not be dangerous to pull out your wallet and show it to a cop. That should have no danger. Right. It should not be dangerous to wear a hoodie. That should not be dangerous. It should be dangerous to be a police officer. If someone has to die while you're at work, it should be you. It should not be the people you're there to protect. Now, I don't know why this doesn't make sense to you. It's made sense to every man in the UPK since 1969. Yep. You think we can say, well, Commanding General YAHANNA, we thought he was trying to attack us. So we used our right of self-defense to kill him. Do you think we could ever be allowed something like that in this school? Why is a cop allowed it? maybe we should do the policing.
Right.
Maybe we should protect and serve.
Yeah.
Maybe we're the only people that actually do. You understand how it's my yacht.
If I can, sir, there's two things. One, and that's what I always hated when on TV or in a real interviews after they did something horrible like this, they say, well, these police, you know, they have a very dangerous job, and we just want to make sure we all get home at night. Like, that's their motto. Did you get home at night to your wife? Okay, you did your job. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. And then my second point, I think with that, it just shows you the world of illusion that we living in under this oppressor. It's like the movies that you go on and then something happened where they go through the mirror. Now they walk around, instead of the word murder, they look at it and say red rum. Everything is backwards. Everything is backwards because they in an alternative what do they call it? An alternative universe or something?
Reality.
Like
Alternative
reality, right. That's what we living in America. Like, everything is backwards. Everything is wrong. God set up a world where you don't respect persons because of their power. Did they do the crime or not? That's what you do. Fair judgment. But in this world, which we all know, according to the Bible, is Satan's kingdom, everything is backwards and upside down. It's red rum. Red rum and all the backwards and mirror movies. I love those type movies because they just such, weird imagination. But we are actually living in an alternative universe. You know what I'm saying? We actually, Slocky, I forget the term you just said again, Muhammad.
Reality.
Right, an alternative reality. We live in it, man. Everything is backwards from how life should be normal. The normal way of life, everything is backwards. And then what they did something doubly horrific to us, that in this backwards reality, in this upside down reality, they started teaching us that this is totally normal. And anything outside of this is the crazy part. You know what I'm saying? We think it's crazy if the police get arrested from doing their dangerous job and killing somebody. But hell, we getting locked up for things like that all the time. Because that would be normal in a normal human society. Even the Lord say, if you take a man's life by accident, purely by accident, you are allowed some mercy and to get the hell out of there and get to a sanctuary city. But you did take somebody from these people, from their family. If they catch you in this city that you did this crime, they can lawfully take your life. You understand? But in America, normal life is just out the window. We living in a backwards alternative reality and been taught that alternative reality is totally normal. So I yield.
John Mayaga hand. I mean, Mayag, you know what you just said is in the Bible. It's in the book of Daniel, where it says seek to change days and times, and their turning of things upside down.
Right.
Be esteemed as the potter's clay.
Count of the one gun.
Give me the other story that's just like this one about the cops killing somebody for nothing. I just need to understand it. Listen, can you imagine?
Shalaki, I didn't mean to cut you off. Charles Palmer said bizarro world. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Charles Palmer. Bizarro.
Can you imagine if another city municipality thought the same way? What if the trash department, when you put your trash out in front of your house, they never picked it up? And you said, well, why aren't you picking up my trash? And they said, well, I ain't want to get no trash on me. You the one that's supposed to get the trash on you.
Right.
So now I got to pick up the trash. You call the water department because your sewer is clogged up and your house is overflowing with sewage. You call the water department. You know what they say, Mayap? Listen, I can't clean up your drain. I didn't want to get wet.
Oh my God.
Nigga, you in the water department. You're supposed to make sure I don't get wet. It's your job to get wet. It's your job to risk your life. It's not mine. It's not my son's. It's not the brother who pulls a wallet. He's not supposed to risk his life because he interacted with a cop. You're supposed to risk your life. What's that sodomite that's in charge of that church? 2818 in Atlanta. It's some church house in Atlanta.
You talking about the cat from Baltimore?
No, it's a bigger church than that. And it's called 2818. I'm sorry? Not Jamal Bryant, another sodomite. He's in charge of a church called 20. Jamal Bryant is over New Life Baptist Church. This cat is over the church that the Purple Pigs came out in front of their church to have a battle with a church who thinks the same way they do. This preacher, he's the one that came out and said that when cops kill black people, it's the fault of black people.
Right.
Come on, my thumb, yeah.
So I got the person, Philip Anthony Mitchell.
Philip Anthony Mitchell. He recently came out and said, when cops kill black people, it's black people's fault because they don't know how to interact with cops. And he starts to train black men on how to interact with police officers. And what is so interesting is he said this. He said when he was living in New York, he was in the project hallway, and he went over to a cop and he mouthed off at the cop. And the cop pulled that gun out. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You want to play it, Murrow? Oh, the cop pulled the gun out and put the gun to his head, Haas. And the cop said, "Talk shit now." From that incident, he said, "This was my fault because I should have not have been mouthing off to the cop." It makes more sense to us that we learn to shut our mouth and give up our right to speak to the police, our right of freedom of speech. We think that's wrong, and a cop is right for putting his gun to our head. We blame ourselves because of belief that is so prevalent that a cop's job is to get home. It is not your job to go home. It is your job to make sure that I go home. It's your job to make sure that everyone else goes home. How do I know? Because that is every officer's job in the Israelite school of UPK. Otherwise, why would we go out on the street and say something that people hate to hear? People hate us, and we still go because it is not our job to be safe. We'd be safe if we stayed in a bed with our wives. It's our job to not be safe so that someone else can be. Why does a cop think his job is to come home? The number one job of a cop is to make it home safe. A cop's number one job is to make sure that everyone else comes home safe. Or else, why in the hell do you do this job? You can work anywhere and come home safe. Let me give you one more story, my
in general. Real quick, General, if I can, and that same pastor at the same time, he say, "I was wrong and black people are wrong because we don't know." He see every day white people mouthing off at the police and then smacking them and fighting them and all that there, and one shot is not fired. He sees it every day. So he understands that, that could happen if it was them. But with us, we in the bizarro world, we got to be different. So I yield. Slocky.
General, if I could real fast when we go to the next story, sir. I remember growing up in Philly, in Southwest, when I went to go to the store, and I was late. It was like by 8 o'clock. I went to go to the Chinese store for my pop, and I came back, and these two cops stopped me, and they started talking trash to me. They had to be like about maybe 10 or 11, right? Right there on the bottom of, right there on Chester Avenue. So I'm going through this. I come home, tell my pop, he pissed off, I'm mad. So when it was time for me to go into the academy, I'm in the academy, and when I graduated, I made an oath to myself that I would never, ever do what was done to me. And that's something that stuck with me because I remember how it made me feel. Knowing I wasn't a criminal, no, I wasn't doing nothing wrong. So who the hell are you to talk trash to me like that? I felt like that. But it wasn't nothing I can do, right? Yeah. So I said I would never, ever make another brother or nobody else make them feel the way I felt. And that bothered me. Yeah. It bothered me till I was an adult.
Forget about it.
You know what I mean? So I know the things I was in, I always, as I was dealing with it, gave everybody the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? It to the point to where it was so crazy that I still always remember the time when I called you after that time we had that shootout, and I couldn't see. It was dark, I couldn't see. My flashlight died, so I ain't used my firearm. And I came out and I got in my car and I called you. First thing I did. Yahweh Shema Sharata. Yes, sir. And I came right out and I called General Hyman. And I'm sitting on the side of my car waiting for my sergeant because he didn't believe I didn't fire no rounds because everybody heard the gunshot. It was going to rain on everything. So he had to come and count my rounds and everything and prove that I didn't fire him. I said, all right, cool. But I remember always to give his brothers a second chance.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? And it kind of swayed to not be that way, but really put the nail in the coffin was I started taking classes. Like when we met, I was going to brotherhood class.
Yeah, man.
Between you, Commander YAHANNA, and my hype, and YAHANNA, it stuck to me, to where I always gave everybody an extra chance. I'd have to do nothing. You know what I mean? This cat that was on the drive on that sidewalk, he wasn't in pursuit. That's the crazy part about it. He wasn't in pursuit. He wasn't even chasing the cat. He was trying to get to where he was at, but he wasn't chasing him. Because if you chase him, why are you on the sidewalk? You're trying to stay behind him. You know what I mean? Not go on the sidewalk. He broke every law they had as far as department-wise. Every last one by doing that. It's like it.
But how's this? I'm almost sure you want to go, General Commander YAHANNA. But I've never understood it. Here's another story, How's just like it. Go ahead, Yediah.
Con, sir. He's reaching in his pocket. Lawsuit accuses Indiana cops and prosecutor's office of lying about black man holding gun to justify killing him. Video shows he had a cell phone.
So this brother had a cell phone. The cop lied and said he had a gun. He has a gun. That one always shocks me in America, where about 4 million people have guns and they're legal. Like whenever I hear about a cop saying, well, my justification was he had a gun. Well, damn, then you can kill about 4 million people then, because about 4 million people have guns and it's legal to have them in your car. It's legal to have them on your person. You have the Second Amendment, but for some reason, having a gun is justification to kill somebody black. Why? Because a cop can never be in danger. So if the Constitution says have a gun, you get a permit that says have a gun. The cop still can kill you for having a gun. Why? Because he must make it home safe. Some jobs require risk of your life. That's just the job you chose. Surely somebody else was hiring where you don't have any risk. Shit, you work down there. What's the place everybody goes and steals out of? Walmart. You know what they tell you when you work at Walmart, right? That nigga take something out that store, let him go. That's the rule. The rule is I saw it on my phone this week where they had a training video and the cat said, give me your receipt. And the training video said, if they do not give you your receipt, do nothing, let them walk out. If they come in and steal everything out of Walgreens, the manager says, let them walk out. Hey, you police officers, man, they're hiring down there at Walmart. There's no risk. But to protect people, you have to put your life in risk. You can't put the people's life in risk. That's the whole job. You work for the water department, which means you get wet, not me. I don't get wet. I don't get my house flooded. You get your boots on and you put on boots and waders. You're going to get wet every day. Not me, but yet here we go. Some cop says he has a gun, which means I can kill him because he has a gun, legal or not. Yediah, come to find out how Commander YAHANNA, he had it was a cell phone. The video said it was a cell phone. Now, here's what I can tell you, not from prophecy, but from living. Usually nothing is going to happen to this cop. Yeah. Nothing. Yeah. The cop will say, I thought it was a gun. He's going to go home and work for another police department. Yeah. Just like every murderer you've ever seen, they go work for somebody else. They don't get fired. They transfer to another district.
General, I worked with a cat. He came from another department, and he got fired because a couple of them got fired. They beat up a cat that was mentally challenged. Mm-hmm. You understand? They beat him bad too. He got fired from that job and got hired where I was at.
The killer of Fernando Castile is a cop for someone else. Those things I can't even. A video I cannot watch. This man went and made himself a cop again, and he got hired again. The murderer of that little boy, Tamir Rice, a 9-year-old boy, he is a cop now for another police district. Sooner or later, you're going to have to realize certain jobs mean you're the one that has to risk your life. If you don't like it, don't do it. Fool that we are, we decided to risk our lives. That's right. Under commanding General YAHANNA in the Israelite School of UPK. Right. We decided that the lives of drug addicts and pimps and whores and addicts was more important than our life. So we go out on the street corner and risk our lives. Why can't you police at least attempt to do the same? Yediah.
Can I, if I can, General? Malatas made a comment. If they was really scared of us, why do they chase us knowing we have a gun on us? And I don't believe they scared of us, Malatas. It's just their lust for murder. I watched something on my phone, General. Now, it was a neighbor, a resident made the video from across the way. The police didn't know they were being videotaped. But it was like 7 of those, looked like ICE agents, but I don't know if they were ICE agents because the camera was too far, but they were dressed tactical in tactical gear, had long guns and everything, and ran up on this guy. He was light-skinned, could have been a Hispanic. I believe he was because of the spirit of how they treated him. So they ran up on him. He walking 2 big-ass dogs, like 2 big-ass Rottweilers or Cane Corsos. And so they roll up on him in the video, and they exchange words. They didn't get close because of the dogs. The dogs turn around, you know, in protection mode of their master, but they didn't flip off or nothing. So according to the narration of the video, they told him he can't be walking these dogs around here. He said, well, I live in the building next door over there. And they said, well, let us see some ID. We don't believe you. This is the narration. Ain't no proof of what was being said. So in the exchange, you see the guy start to walk away from the police again. Dogs turn around. They ain't aggressive, start to walk away. But the police engage him again and look a little bit more hostile. And the dogs turn around and the guy turn around and one of the dogs start barking because he's like, oh, shit, the mood didn't change. And they opened fire on this man's dog. Yeah. I said, God damn. It came out my mouth loud and clear. God damn, because there was no reason to murder this man's dog. But they are just always in murder mode, Malataza. It ain't the fear, it's the hunt. I yield.
Mayakas was saying so true, sir, and that's the excuse. I was in fear of my life. Every officer has to make sure he goes home today. The cop is not in fear. Here's the problem. The problem is his excuse is acceptable to the public. That's the part that is ridiculous. If you're not a cop and you're sitting home and you're walking down the street or going to work every day or driving a car every day, why is it acceptable that a cop kills someone by mistake to protect himself? It's not supposed to be acceptable if you're in the public, right? Because this cat is supposed to be hired to make sure you get home every night. Just like any other, it's 1,000 city officials. You know, you got the water department, Mayat, the trash department. Give me some other ones. Those are two easy to understand ones. Like, well, why do you take out my trash today, trash man? I didn't want to get my clothes dirty. Nigga, you're supposed to get your clothes dirty. You telling me that you're gonna let my trash stack up because you didn't want to get trash stink on your clothes? That's the job. The job is to stink like trash if you're a trash man. Can you imagine a trash man saying, well, excuse me, Mr. Mayor, why hasn't the trash been picked up in 6 months? Well, you know, my trash men, it is their job to go home every night not smelling like trash. It's their job to go home every night without having trash can juice on their pants. I thought that was part of it, Mayor. I thought they smell like trash, so I don't. So I don't stink. For some reason, a cop is able to have the excuse of, I killed a 9-year-old boy by accident because I had to protect myself. I killed this man who was going for his wallet by accident because I had to make sure I go home. And the public goes, okay, thank you, hero. Brother, listen, you need a hero. We're giving you one here in the UPK. And we risk our lives.
Damn right, bro.
We risk our lives for none of the reward and none of the prestige. And we risk our lives. You die. Go ahead. What else do you have?
Wait, before you go,
please, sir.
Get one scripture. What you saying, what you bringing out is so heavy. Like, this is trained behavior. You understand? This is trained behavior, and we better start.
You sound real low, sir.
So, Lockie, let me see if I can get this mic closer to me.
Better. It just got better. It just got better.
It's better.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something, Mark. This what you bringing out is so heavy in this. This has been going on since slavery. You can go back. It's good. Oh, it wasn't on. Okay. How about now? We good? Like, this has been going on so long now. and we haven't yet to figure it out. And this is because of horrible black leaders. Right now, Donald Trump just fought in the Supreme Court to remove birthright citizenship. The Supreme Court turned around and said, y'all can fight it, but you just have to get a class action suit for everybody, which everybody knows that a class action suit takes years. So you'll be incarcerated for 10 years before they decide to even straighten it out. They're going on with their program. Right now in Florida, do you know that they just opened up a prison in the Everglades? They call the prison Alligator Alley. Back in the same Everglades that they used to feed our babies to catch alligators, they got something like 600 acres of land down in them Florida Everglades. They building a prison down there that's going to cost them $450 million a year. You can best believe that that prison is designed for you to have to work till you dead so that they could get rich. And Donald Trump just preliminarily passed having the right to remove people's birthright. Now, whether it's retroactive or whatever the case may be, we'll find out. But regardless of what it is, this is the final solution. When you read about the Nazis and the final solution on the so-called Jew, you are living the beginning of the awakening of it now. And here's the problem. You notice you don't hear any black politician, any Latino politicians, all those black politicians and pundits from CNN that was supposed to be so pro-black, so, we got to do this. And so all that was all BS. Now they're silent. If you're black and you're a congressman or in the Senate, you're supposed to be on the TV set every day saying to blacks and Latinos, they're trying to remove us from the country. You're supposed to be screaming it. You're supposed to be in a full-fledged movement, but nothing is happening. You know why? Because they've been whores for years. They've been whores for decades. They've been selling you out for decades. If I was in the Congress or the Senate, I'd be on the news every day. So they'd be like, he losing his mind, because it would be that type of situation. If I was a governor in a city filled with blacks and Latinos and Native Indians, I'd be losing my mind. I'd be activating state troopers like I can't even explain. But you know who's doing that on our behalf? Nobody. But don't fear no way. This return, this is nothing but another pain coming for what is about to happen to this empire. What you watching is desperation from a white man. Desperation from him is why he's acting the way he's acting, because he knows what's coming. He knows his economy is going. He knows his military is going to reject him. He knows that this place is going south. So we could have been fixed this problem. We could have been had gated communities. White people got gated communities. They rich as hell. Sometimes they're not even rich. No. They just have a gated community. In the gated community, got their own supermarkets, their own businesses, and they keep other people out. But your black leaders tell you that's why all these Christian Israelites and these Christians in these churches and you Muslims in the mosque, you too, you act all pro-black and and Allah and all that. You're full of shit too. Because what you're all doing is watching your people die. That's what you're doing. Israelite School UPK, we not sitting idle by. We on this thing too. Big shout out to all the camps that went out this week. Y'all did an amazing job all across the country. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how to utilize some sunshine. Y'all don't be going to the beach with no sunshine. Y'all getting all black, sweating. A couple of them brothers out there in Alabama was like, this here, and the Most High. I said, if somebody don't give him a bottle of water, he finna pass out. They did not give a damn. That's the kind of love that they had for these 12 tribes. And if you had love for these 12 tribes, you would be doing the things that would fix that. You can make a cop, brother, you can make them have to fire cops. You can put them in such a position that they got no reason to have cops but to sit around and you could justify defending yourself from these people. But you will never, ever, ever be able to fix your situation if you will not have the morals that God said for you to have. But rest assured, little children, let me tell you what the Lord is going to do for you. If you could, you're dying. Psalm 7 and 10. Let me tell you what the Lord is going to do for you. Take it from 10 down. I'm going to read a couple of y'all on mine. Yes, go ahead and ride.
Colonel Wakan, sir. The book of Psalms, chapter 7 and verse 10. My defense is of God.
My defense is of the Most High, brother. That's who defends us. And you better get ready to be defended. And being defended means you got to do certain things to be defended. Means you got to give up the pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. That means you got to give up the whores. You understand? Black man, is your responsibility to get black women in order. Sick of you crying. You crying, you wearing men purses, you crying. Get her together and get yourself together, man. Because the time is absolutely short. Go ahead, you was going to say something?
If I could, sir.
Please.
What you saying is so heavy, sir. On the way to class, I had to stop and check two brothers, that I went to high school with. And they was talking about, man, black women is our enemy. And I just couldn't just, walk past and give my 2 cents and let them know, they not our enemy. It's our job to reform them, to bring them back.
You better break that bullshit off of these women, man. You better get them right, man. And the ones that won't get right, banish them from the black community, man. Banish them, man, until they realize they got to get right. Because we got a nation that cannot make it without us coming together the way the Lord said. We got children that will not make it without the Lord coming together with us. Donald Trump, in his executive orders, passed a law that children now can defend themselves in court after 8 years old. They can work. He done brought back child slavery. Can work at 8 years old. Brought all that back because they getting ready to get themselves on a war footing. And you're not included in the defense. Let's read what the Lord said.
Khan, sir. Which saveth the upright in heart.
Right. The Most High delivers the man that's upright in heart. You upright in heart. You believe in the law, statutes, and commandments, man. You reading about them. You live in them. You for real live in them. Then guess what? You the one the Most High gonna come for. You the one gonna be defended against this evil, insidious, wicked-ass empire that have had its fill of enslaving the Lord's chosen people. Go ahead, you die.
Khan, sir. Verse 11. God judgeth the righteous.
He do what?
God judgeth the righteous.
Brother, if you clean up your act, sister, clean up your act, take on a moral stance according to the scriptures. We'll show it to you if you need it. And guess what? The Lord gonna be the one that's gonna deliver you. He goes and gets those people. Those are the people he goes and gets and delivers them out of their situation. But boy, oh boy, mercy on you if he don't come get you. Go ahead.
Khan, sir. And God is angry with the wicked.
He's what?
God is angry with the wicked every day.
That's right. You think the white man is beloved because of his riches and power and the abuse that he comes down on us with, killing brothers and sisters in their car, attacking them, terrorizing them day and night. That was all pre-planned. That was all to get you ready for this moment that's coming up now. They had to get you in the mindset that you could be killed any minute. You got to try and comply. All of that. Most people comply. 99% of the time, it's never a problem with the cops other than them attacking you. You go back and look at all the tapes and all of that. Rare is it that a brother will out and out shoot a cop or attack a cop. It's always a question of, did he have a gun? What, was he doing this? Blah, blah, blah. Because we never the ones doing it. Remember that tape we played last week where that Arab was sitting in the car, had the gun on him. Not just on a hip holster, but on a breast holster. Right in view where he can get his hands on it. And these two idiots, because they don't think he's a threat, sat up there and dealt with him as cordially as possible and end up getting a cell shot. That never happens with black men. When do a black man ever get pulled over, have a gun under his arm, and the cop say, well, let me get your paperwork, while he's arguing with the cop? While he's arguing with the cop say, let me get your paperwork. The cop try to reason with him. Never. So that terrorism that was done to us, it's done to us for a reason, and they've been doing it. It's been hundreds of years of doing it. The problem is you just bent over and got high, you dumbass. That's your problem. You got up, went to work, and put on fake eyelashes. Not that it's wrong to wear fake eyelashes. I'm just saying. You got carnal when you should have been spiritual. Give me more, you die, please.
Kanye West, sir. Verse 12. If he turn not, he will wield his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. He have also prepared for him the instruments of death.
Let me tell you something, man. You playing with the Most High. You're going to wet your sword, you understand? And you're going to make the Lord wet his sword and bring hell down on you. Go ahead, you die.
Kanye West, sir. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors.
Right. Them rockets you saw flying out the Middle East, they're going to fly in this country too for the evil that's being done here. The Lord going to cleanse this place from the wickedness of this empire. And you black leaders, finally, you about to find out how useless you always were. Now they brought Tyler Perry up on charges. They ain't bring him on charges, my bad. They're accusing him of charges. They accuse him of charges against some Edomite, some sexual assault. I'm not surprised. You've been evicted from America, and you don't even know it. You've been evicted from America, and you don't even know it, and you haven't prepared for your journey back to the kingdom of heaven. And that's why you walking around floundering when this kingdom is falling into pieces. Okay? The Lord said he angry with this wicked every day. Said he's gonna bring this sword on this empire. You've been hearing us say it for a long time. Not long enough, because you haven't complied with what the Lord requires for you to be right. Go ahead,
Kanye, verse 14. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and have conceived mischief, and have brought forth falsehood.
That's just like you, just like Esau. That iniquity he travaileth with, he pushes and keeps that iniquity. That's why them cops always get off. Now they got a new rule. Donald Trump's another executive order. Now they don't hold no records in the federal system on what cops do. Them holding those federal records was shutting them cops down from doing the evil they've been doing. But they feel so free right now. They feel so free. And that's why you better walk circumspect in this kingdom, man. I had to curse out an Edomite working inside the Lowe's just today. I came in. All I did was come in the alley, come in the aisle, and say to him, "Hey, do you got this Chuck we was looking for?" I didn't tell him Marah was with me, but he was in the car. But and I said, "You got the Chuck?" No. I said, "Man, why you say it like that, man?" No, like a real bitch. Caught me on a bad hour. I gave him a little bit. I don't suggest nobody else do that. But that's the froggy spirit that they in. And so you're going to get some of that. Try to deal with it as best you can, because you're going to know that this is an unnecessary disrespect. They feeling themselves right now.
And where is this Lowe's?
Never mind. So look.
I'm thinking about it too. I think I know right where is that.
Moving on.
Mariah, I swear you this out.
Damn. We're going to talk to Mariah later. We're going to talk to Mariah.
Like that's the spirit that they in. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe and the spirit that they want to be in. And now it's time for you to get your head. The scripture says a time for all things.
Okay.
This is a time as well. We reading about this time right now. Go ahead, you die. Give me 1 or 2 more, please.
Colonel McCon, sir. Verse 15. He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made.
This is what's happening to this empire. They dig this ditch. They robbed and steal and murdered and raped and killed the Lord's chosen people. Then when they got their fill, they tried to wipe out our history, wipe out our books, wipe out our record, wipe us out in the military. I heard, what's his name from South Carolina? I think he's a senator from South Carolina. I almost vomit every time he comes on the TV set.
Oh man,
Colburn.
Is he Jake or not?
He's a Jake.
Colburn.
Colburn is
right.
what it sounds
right.
like. He makes me sick every time he gets on the TV screen. He's elected every Democrat, damn near. He's helped elected every Democrat since the 70s or maybe the 60s. Yeah. This fool right here been electing Democrats, putting them in office. And right now, not one white Democrat is speaking up on your behalf. He's sitting up there in the, arguing, why are we erasing the history of Medgar Evers and the history? Because he's the white man, and the white man is the devil, and the white man is evil. And this clown is sitting up here talking about, and what I want you to see is, look at your senators now, your little black senators and your little black congressmen and congresswomen. Let's take a look at them now. They are absolutely useless right now. They are absolutely useless right now. Now you find out what we've been saying, that a politician is useless. You had better serve the Lord. You better find it in your soul to turn to your Father in heaven, because you better learn his way quick, because now we in that time. And you've been looking at us all these years like we saying these things out of hatred for you. We've been saying these things as a good, I've been a good father to you in this place. I've been a good father to tell you what you need to do to get where you got to get. And you better comply. Give me a little bit more, you die, please.
Colonel McCon, sir. Verse 16. His mischief shall return upon his own.
All this evil that's on him is about to return on his own head. One thing about the Lord that's amazing is the Lord turns around the courses of nations. A nation will be on one course. Yeah. They'll wake up the next morning, the entire nation is on a different course. You see it many times in the scriptures. And it'll be this time too, because what they intend to do is to do to you what they did in Gaza. Remember, Gaza and Israel and America worked together. They dropped them bombs over there. You think they won't drop them bombs in their own city? They'll drop them bombs in their own city. They want to do that to you. But what's going to happen is the Lord is going to return it on their own head. Last verse. Go ahead.
Colonel McCon, sir. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing.
And his what?
And his violent dealing.
And his violent dealings, which he does towards us knowingly. These ain't mistakes. These ain't, I thought he had a gun. These are not mistakes. These are straight up murders, is what's going on, which is why they work so hard to shut it down. Big shout out to Colin Kaepernick, man. That's why they work so hard to shut that down. He was on the cutting edge when he did that, and then put his whole football career on the line. I don't know how strong it was or if he was going to retire or not, but regardless, he used his platform to get up and say something on your behalf. Let me tell you something. If you could see what he did, the first thing you would do is stop becoming a criminal. You would make it up in your mind, I don't care how hungry I get, I'm not going to turn against my own people to become a criminal. No matter how much I struggle, I'm going to use my mind, I'm going to use my brotherhood, I'm going to use everything I got to try and feed myself and those around me, but I'm not going to turn on them. Why? Because I'm not going to give the enemy no help. I'm not going to give the man that's starving me in the first place help to starve me even more. That's what you would do. You would get with trying to fix us, seeing that he put himself out there to fix us. Somebody else did it even bigger. Somebody else did it even bigger. A black man by the name of Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew. He did it bigger than anybody did. Brother, we need brothers to get ready to do it big, to get ready to really say what nobody wants you to say so that you can crack this place in the spirit and break this spirit in this place, man. Is that it on it, you die?
Sir, a little bit more, sir.
Go ahead, I finish it up.
Come. And his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pet. I will praise the Lord according to his righteousness, and I will sing the praise of the name of the Lord Most High.
That's it. You got to sing the praises of the name of the Most High. What does it really mean to sing the praise? You dumb, stupid Christians. You up in church singing. That's not what this is talking about. It's not talking about singing the praise of him like you make a song. It's talking about discussing the great things he did for us, the many times he delivered us out of captivity. Those are the great songs of the Most High. Every time we was in danger and in hardship, he said it way up here at the 10th verse. You understand? Those hardships and dangers are back against the wall. Death is imminent, captivity imminent, incarceration imminent, destruction of our people imminent. And the Lord stepped in the middle of it, man, and did wonderfully. That's the praises of the Most High you should be singing, not no goddamn hymn book, dummy. You should be singing the praises of the great things the Most High did. You should be praising him for standing up for this truth when he went up on that cross. You act like it's a sad song. He went up on that cross. He went up on that cross, brother, and he gonna rule the world. He gonna take kings and presidents and princes and terrorize them in their sleep.
Damn right.
He gonna take them and put them in a cage and terrorize them because that's what they want to do to you. Like, he deserves to be recognized. Really praise him. Really recognize the things that he's done for us in the past, so you can have enough gumption to be ready to stand with him when he gets ready to do it in the future. I yield. The water you die.
Most High Christ. And if I can, General, just want to say the water from all of us. You have been a hell of a father for us in this truth. But even more important, you've been a hell of a father to those outside of the school. You've been a hell of a merciful father with them, patient, long-suffering. You give the right fatherly advice all the time. When I wanted to kill men, you talked me out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're merciful, and that's the true spirit of the Most High in Christ. All right.
Like, they don't know how close they get. Most High in Christ. What? Go ahead.
Yeah, Concerts. Sister in the chat said, "You men are all heroes."
Most High in Christ. Damn right. Damn right. Like, really praise him. Go ahead, you dad. Slot.
Colonel Khan, the Supreme Court justice in birthright citizenship case limit judges' power to block Trump's policies.
Right. It limits his power, limits their power. Before, it didn't matter. A Third Circuit, any judge came and laid down a judgment. The judges across the whole country had to respect that judgment, or they had to appeal it to a higher court. Now, when it comes to the president, he ain't got to pay attention to none of them judges. When they put a judgment, it's only a judgment in their jurisdiction, no longer a judgment across the whole country. So he can go from jurisdiction to jurisdiction to jurisdiction until he finds a judge friendly enough to his policy. Then he can enact the policy, and then being the president, he can enact the policy all over unless they put unless somebody else brings a lawsuit to block it. Basically, his power has increased ridiculously. That's the Nazi party. That is Adolf Hitler, Joseph Goebbels, and the rest of them in that Nazi party, man. They did that exact same thing. And what's so evil about the so-called Jew, I hope y'all come out to my lecture. Y'all don't mind I plug it, right? Y'all, man, I hope y'all come out to my lecture because I'm going to show you how, boy, I got some stuff to show you. I don't know. I come to find out, Y'all gonna be mad with me because now they done lined up 3 lectures. I know of 2 of them. The third one, I don't know the date, but they've lined up 3 lectures. But brother, in one lecture, do you know I found out since all your top music and television companies, Viacom, them old huge ones, big Sony and all of them. Do you know all of them are run, of course, by the so-called Jew? But what you may not have known is that all of them are run by signal intelligence operatives from the 40s. Meaning these guys worked against the Nazis for America in the 40s. After they won the war, the United States moved them into Hollywood and set up Hollywood and finance the so-called Jew. And brother, and not only that, if you would have, I don't even know if this could even be brought out, because do you know that they had an entire plan since the 40s to turn New York City into a plantation to finance the state of Israel, and did it. Wall Street, they own 98% of the real estate in New York City. All the real estate, they did this thing perfectly. And when black people rebelled too much, Latinos rebelled too much, they sent them all to the war, brought them back as drug addicts, and kept the process going. I mean, it was a full out plan. Like, what we don't understand in this country is that we ain't living by accident. This idea that you free and you just living and life is wonderful and you eat a Snickers bar and all that bullshit, none of that is real. What's real is they take a city, decide what they want to do with the city, come in with their operatives, set it all up, and do whatever they want to do in that city. And brother, they use the funds and the wealth of that city or area for whatever area they want. I mean, it runs deep. And it's in this upcoming lecture. Big shout out to Captain Mao Quad. And big shout out to everybody out there in Chicago. At the Midwest Fire Weekend, I'm going to be doing a lecture. I forget the exact dates and time, but you can look it up. It's all over Facebook. And in that lecture, I'm going to be bringing out, brother, that they've done with us since the 40s. Including experiments, including all type of ways that they're working to keep us as a slave. And now they realize that here's why they wanted to, if I could, real quick. One of the main reasons they got to try to get rid of us is they found a way. This is going to sound crazy. I don't even know if I should bring it out before the lecture. But brother, they found a way to control human beings. It is extremely evil what they're doing. They went and got top scientists and sat down, brother, and they took these top scientists from Harvard and Yale and figured out how to control human beings. And I ain't talking MK Ultra. I know a lot of y'all MK Ultra. No, I'm talking about a whole nother level of what they did. And they know that as they go into this third world war, that they cannot have other nations using that technology to try to convince us to go against them. I mean, it's diabolical on another level. You know who was involved? And I think I mentioned this before. The goddamn Unabomber. Like, everybody think the Unabomber was just a nut. Unabomber wasn't no nut. He was a Harvard graduate. The Unabomber was part of the program and rebelled against them. That's why he went in the woods and cut off all the electricity. Then went to kill all the people that was involved in the program. It's crazy what they've been doing now. They've been doing to you in this place is crazy. And killing you in car stops is part of it. It's part of what they do. This ain't, this ain't random. It ain't a mistake. They doing this. Everything you've been ever thought about, what was going on with the news, all of that, your life has been orchestrated here. You're supposed to be a working drug addict until you die. That's your life. While they rule the world and enjoy the splendor of the world, gave you a little bit of that splendor so you could feel like you were part of it. But now they realize, oh, snap, the technology is too big. We got to get rid of them all. This is the final solution. But none of it will work. It worked on the so-called Jew because he ain't God's chosen people. ain't none of that shit working on us.
Right.
We're gonna go serve the Lord and these scriptures and escape all of this. So I hope you join me. It's a little crazy, a little out there. It sounds a little wild, but it's good food for thought, if anything. You know what I mean? If you really look at it, you're gonna really, if you can handle it, you're gonna feel like you done came out of the matrix. You're gonna feel like you woke up out of darkness like you ain't never seen before. The only thing on this earth that's real is what's in this Bible. Everything in this world has been fabricated around you, man. You in the goddamn so-called matrix. A lot.
Right.
I yield.
Most times, right. And if I can, General, I know on one of your social media posts, oh man, you had a good article about it. Could have been the healthcare thing on how when they decide. Say again.
Wait a minute, Maya, breaking up a little bit. Can you get him your diet? I mean, Marah.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
Up there too, Marah. Is it that Wi-Fi?
Test 1 2. How y'all hear me?
Yeah, you back. You back.
Okay.
We hear you now. Good.
Like one of the posts you posted on one of your social media outlets. And I believe it could have been the healthcare issue on how when they decide how to make life better for Americans, they include how to do it without helping blacks and Hispanics. They decide, like I know about like the healthcare, like they was going to cut it real low, but they said if we cut it real low, black people would be able to afford it. And we don't want that. We want them to not afford this so they could die off eventually. Their plot be for us to die off. In America, they make literal rules and laws and legislating on how to make America better and American citizens better, but they always include it cannot help them. If these people benefit from it, we rather make it hard and only the rich to afford it, as long as it gets rid of these people for generations and generations. Now, you tell that to the average Christian, they're going to think we bugging. You know what I'm saying? But every thought and every process and everything that they incorporate in America, they always weigh out whether it'll help black and Hispanic. Because if it does, then they don't want it. Shalak, I yield.
Listen, you're right. You're absolutely right. They try everything to work against us when it comes to us getting the same portion that they get. We're not in this situation because we're ignorant or stupid or uneducated or anything like that. We in this situation, brother, because they make sure that they keep us in this situation in every way they could think of. And now they just realize it's just becoming too expensive. It's just becoming too much work and too expensive to maintain slaves that you got to pay, that you got to have laws with, that can join a union, that got rights in the workplace. All that, they tired of that now. They want you to work from 8 years old, with no rules. You just do what they did. They feel like they need to go back to the 20s and 30s and even before the 20s and 30s, where you was just a worker. That's it. You didn't like it? Get the hell out of here, go starve on the street corner. That's where Skid Row and all of that came, the Bowery and those areas came from that. Because if you didn't put up with it, you just got rolled over. And eventually, of course, all the rules and regulations, Donald Trump, him being a billion-dollar business owner, he hates unions. He hates regulations. All them old regulations. What's that OSHA? What's the other one? A ton of them. He hates all of those organizations, and he's going to gut them if he hasn't done it already. Because EPA, environmental protection, he hates those. Oh my God, he hates them things. Why? Because he wants to just make money. Like you dealing with a cat that just, has a focus on making money like you never seen, and he got a plan for blacks and Latinos to make him money. And once again, is so just like Pharaoh in the past. It just reminds me of the exact same scenario.
Can I back you at one point?
Please.
Unless you want to say something else.
No, please. Go ahead.
It was something that came out today. I saved the article in my phone. And it was so bad. It was so bad that I said, I'll tell you what it is if I could, sir. They're passing that bill. I think they're doing it right now as we speak. But they're in the Senate working out that bill that's going to just cut Medicaid, cut food stamps to the poor, cut everything. And there was an article put in the New York Times today that detailed in the bill, and it says it in the bill, which was mind-blowing to me, where they said There's a way to save money and cut the poor off of programs without cutting them off. And the title of the article is Paperwork, Paperwork, Paperwork. And in the article, they're reading the part where it says, instead of cutting off the poor, what we can do is have step after step of red tape that will make them cut themselves off because of the hard work of filing this paperwork, signing up for this program.
Yes.
And I read this and I just couldn't. So many things happen now where I just can't believe it's just in writing. Do you know what that means? Every time you sit in a government agency for 8 hours,
DMV,
oh, Jesus Christ,
welfare,
DMV,
Social
Security. And the article says they know for a fact that this will save money because people will self-drop themselves off, and they cite all the cities that it already is working in. And I said, people are sitting home right now thinking that this is just incompetence in the welfare office. This is just too much red tape. This is just because that girl got a bad attitude and too many people are on lunch break. It's all been on purpose the entire time so that you will get frustrated and let your license and go expire. It's in the article. This whole thing was so you will not sign up for food stamps.
Incredible.
So you will let your license expire. So those tickets will not get paid. And Donald Trump put it in the bill that they can just increase the red tape. And in that way, people will stop coming to get assistance.
When we come out, Swat.
That was it.
Give it up. And when we come out of this slavery, brother, we're going to come out of a sleep like we have never seen before. We're not even going to understand it. We're going to, like life, the stress of life up here is going to drop so far down, we're not going to know what to do with ourselves. We're going to be like, what the hell? That's what happened when we first got out of slavery. They said when we got out of slavery, when the troops came in and took over the plantations, they said we came out and slaughtered every animal on the farm. Most of us never even had any meat other than pork. So when we went in there, we didn't even know what it was like to eat beef. You know, meanwhile, I worked on the plantation many, many years. We went in there and slaughtered. That's why we riot. That's why we riot, because it's the first time we get to freely game. And meanwhile, of course, they're animals. They're this. When you've been in captivity, first mentally, and then physically, like you're saying. Like, that shit is crazy. You know what I mean? And is there any black leaders? Like this is the part that pisses me off, is we grew up in the hood. And we know all this stuff that we bring out on these channels all across this country. What you mean to tell me none of these black leaders have ever discovered none of this? Right. It's amazing what Hebrew Israelites can discover that nobody else can find. Right. You know what I mean? Like every camp, every city, just pulling out all kinds of evil things that they're doing. But meanwhile, senators, congressmen, you know what I mean? People, business people, politicians, religious leaders, you preachers, woo, you the worst of the barrel. You worse than a crackhead, you preachers. And I mean, you mean to tell me don't none of these people find this? Brother, the Lord gonna put a new leadership in charge of Israel. You gonna require it because your leaders are going to run and hide. They're going to turn their back on you and leave you for dead. Matter of fact, they're going to help the slave master destroy you faster. They're going to convince you to be compliant to your own destruction. And meanwhile, the brothers standing on the corner, which is so just like God in the Bible. Like those disciples was teaching Israel how not to end up destroyed. And sure enough, we rejected Christ, rejected the disciples in 70 AD, brother. Them Romans starved us so bad that we end up eating our own babies. That's, it's amazing. It's a lot.
If I can, General, not to cut you off. And everything you're saying is so powerful. And it reminds me on how the Pharisees and Sadducees kept their mouth shut because they was trying to please the oppressor, and kept their mouth shut about our people until Christ's voice and his disciples got too loud. Then it was, oh my God, we got to stop them, or our oppressors going to come take away our place. You understand?
Right.
It's the same thing going on now. Their mouths are shut. And
Yeah.
as our voices get loud, because they getting loud, I done saw D.L. Hughley play one of my Hyman videos. You know what I'm saying? So our voices are getting loud. And as they get louder, like you just brought out, they're going to turn against us. They're not going to come in on the right side of the Lord. They're going to stand with the oppressor to silence us and try to do everything in their power to silence us. And I don't know if you remember, just on another point, we was out watching General Hyman's rib, Shawashina. Shout out to Dr. Shawashina. She did a show downtown. And remember the heathen that came up to us dressed like a Jake? He was, I think he was a Punjabi or East Indian or something. He was dressed like a Jake, though, and came up and saw the shield, said, I know who you guys are. I heard you before. Man, everything y'all say is the truth. Then start going into how when his family and his forefathers came over, they was ordered by America, leave these black and brown people alone. Don't help these black and brown people. We're going to sign your citizenship. You can get rich. You can come over here. He said, but yeah, my people, we ain't allowed to really speak on the things that y'all talk about, which are so true. And lets me know how, of course, this is all planned and plotted. Our lives, our struggle, our drug addiction, our poverty, the hell that we in, it ain't because we're dumb. It ain't because we're the smartest people on earth. We're the most talented people on earth. But this is a plot on purpose and executed by our oppressor. And the Most High is so beautiful in that I saw a story where some Edomite woman married an Iranian, and they were both Trump supporters, MAGA and Trump supporter. And now she's complaining, trying to go viral because now Trump's ICE team is trying to get rid of her husband because he's a trained Iranian ex-sniper. And now she's feeling the pain on a lot of these people that stood with him just to their demise, because now he coming after them and the ones they loved also. That's how beautiful the Most High is. He going to turn all of these plots and twists against us. He going to flip them right back on our oppressor's own head. I yield.
Damn right. Listen, what you saying is so right. Like I want to know how they gonna get rid of all these Iranians. You worrying about black people, Latinos. You know what I mean? Like you saying, like they trying to get rid of her husband because he's an Iranian sniper. They want to make sure, you know, he don't.
But was in agreement with Trump.
Go ahead, Maya.
Slock, I ain't even cut you. But they all in agreement with Trump on the racism against us. They all can agree with that and wear the MAGA hats and stand because society's fine as long as we the ones being oppressed. But now that it's turning on them, the Most High flipping it, now it's going to be an uproar in America.
And if I could, sir, if they get rid of the Iranians, who are black people going to buy gaudy furniture from? Just where all them Black Panthers you got in your living room come from. The Iranians, all them gold TVs and gold glass tables, Black Panthers and leopards. Who in the hell is going to sell all of you that stuff without the Iranian furniture store with a giant 6-foot Black Panther and a black cabinet with porcelain and a glass table for your kid to bust his head on?
Yeah. Go ahead, you dad.
It says ICE arrests more than 100 Iranian nationals amid fears over sleeper cells.
This the 1940s. This is McCarthyism.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? This is Japanese internment camps.
Mm-hmm.
Like they a mess. They done invoked racism and now they got a mess on their hands. You know what I mean? Like the intelligence agency is gonna be working overtime, trying to catch every little.
Forget about it.
You know, man, you're gonna be working hard trying to catch them. Meanwhile, you was trying to kill us in the car. Go ahead, you got it. Anybody else jumping in?
Oh, if I can say one thing, sir. Oh, Salagi, sir. Can I say one thing, sir?
Right. West Philly for life, 19 92 said there's other Arabs besides Iranians. Like you gonna have a real problem on your hands. There's a ton of them over there. Listen, and there's a ton of ethnic groups in each country. You got ethnic groups in all them countries. Go ahead, Art.
If I could, sir, it's a joke that me and Cap Riyadh be going over every camp. Or Officer Marad, Officer Ibad, no, this is this little devil that's been watching us since I was a young man watching the camp. And we swear he is CIA agent. And Cap was like, well, you know, why is he so excited? I was like, well, you know, sir, we're an easy shift. You know, normally he probably got to watch the Iranians and the Proud Boys. He come to watch us. He know this is an easy day.
God, he's got to get out there and speak. You know what I'm saying? He watched that boy. He got to creep in holes, climbing up back staircases, all that old bullshit. You know, man. You right. God. Go ahead.
Sir. Trump says he would absolutely consider bombing Iran again.
Well, come on. what you waiting on? Because you know, yesterday, get me right on this, y'all. Yesterday, the Israelis put their people on high alert again, right? Yeah, because of the threat of Iranian bombing.
Yeah.
So, because listen, if Trump hadn't gotten in there, them Iranians could have took their country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'd have hit them nuclear sites out with the missiles, and they'd have been on then. They'd have been on. The Lord wants us to wake up first. Yeah. The Lord has given us time to wake up and become his people again and serve him like we're supposed to do. And once we do that, then we will be on the footing for him to go and remove all these nations off of the face of this earth. He's going to bring order to this. Imagine a planet where no nation studies war at all. No intelligence agencies, no military agencies, no military personnel or weapons. No cops. They just don't study war no more. That's going to be an incredible place.
Yeah.
And that means you're going to have your head right in your mind to do the right thing. You're going to be afraid of the Most High on many other levels if you are heathen. And Israel. Everybody going to want to get right after this. And that's going to be a hell of a planet.
Damn right.
And if you on the bottom of that planet, you in a jam. Like being on the bottom of this planet, the damn planet is violent and horrible as it could damn be. You know what I'm saying? It's just what you got to deal with. But being on the bottom of that kingdom, oh, that's going to be a sad day. You're going to really be in hell because everybody going to be living in splendor.
That's right.
You're going to be on the bottom. I can see rich Hamites now walking their lily white person as a poodle with the collar and the little chain, looking weird as they could be. Them Hamites, them old tall, old jumping Hamites. They're going to have Edomites, brother, in chains. It's going to be amazing to see. So, like, I yield.
You know what might be good? Commander General YAHANNA, he just brought out that story about Russia and China saying they were getting involved.
Sir.
There was just a story please. No, that was it. Please.
United States attacks on Iran risk global conflict. Russia and China both warn.
Big shout out to Shadrach, Howard. Big shout out to your son too, Warrior. Y'all doing a hell of a job, man. Big shout out to both of them. I'm sorry you died. I just want to give him. He shouted us out. I want to shout him out too. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Conor McCann, Russia and China have strongly condemned the U.S. attacks on Iranian nuclear sites, warning they could drag the world into a broader war and set a dangerous international precedent.
Right. He's letting them know, man, this could be bad. This could be a mess. And it is going to be a mess because the Lord is mustering this battle. They're not going to have, you're not going to have what you want this time. Your time is up. You dismissing blacks and Latinos like their time is up. Your time is up.
That's right.
That's what you don't understand. You don't understand why you getting drawn into that Middle East. Let me tell you something, man. The Israelis and the Americans are scared to death at the electronic things they're gonna come out with in the future. And now Elon Musk, I don't know where he at. He
against
who he right. That's what I'm saying. Who he hoeing for now? Yeah. He might go hoeing for the Russians, the Chinese. Yeah. The Chinese killing him on them electric cars, them Teslas and all that. So he might go hoeing for them. Yeah. They might have to put the button on him. I don't know. They might have to deal with him. The point is, it's not your time. It's the Lord's time now. And that time and your time is up. Everybody's going in the third world war. More nations get ready to draw down in there. And every time we think it's peace and quiet and solved, you back in the middle of it. They doing all kind of, really, this was just a reset. And that's why them Israelis done put their people on a war footing for the bomb shelters. Because this is just a warm-up. This is just, it's time for them to pick up the dead and get more ammunition into the theater. So they can get ready and try to analyze their mistakes. So they can get ready to fire on the next set of missiles. I don't know. Them Iranians sat down and thought real hard about making them damn missiles out. They done made a hell of a set of missiles that done terrorized everybody in that area. So we're going to see how this plays out. And let the Lord's judgment fall. For surely it fell on us. Surely that judgment fell on us for 400 and some odd years. I'm siding with the Lord. You understand? After what done happened to us for not doing what the Lord said, I'm siding with the Lord. You know what I mean? So now that we siding with the Lord, guess what? Get ready for your judgment. Because 450 years under us, you're not going to make it.
Damn right.
Go ahead, you die. Please finish it.
Next story, finish this one.
Oh, you have more on this, or you was done?
That's pretty much it on that.
Okay, we can move on.
Sir.
Shadrach said, Trump says North Korea better not make, I'm assuming, any more threatening remarks to him. Damn. I ain't hear about that either, Shadrach. What is it? Rocket Man is upset? Rocket Man sitting up there with all them nukes, country starving. You know, he just wait for somebody to fuck up. He's in there nuked deep. You know what I mean? Waiting for somebody to mess up so he go get his money.
If I could, sir, he's not the type to even let the country exist after him. Right. He done killed his brother, killed her. He don't want nobody to be after him. Yeah. So if he think it's going bad, he'll just, just go ahead and do it then. So it don't exist.
Wrap it up.
Right. You know, man. He that kid, remember, he sent some women to come and poison his brother. Right. His brother was in some airport. Some woman came and wiped his face. Right. And then his brother died. Because he don't like rivals over there. So, if he think it's over, he'll just go ahead and push the button.
Damn right. I think Putin halfway the same way. That's what I like about him. Like Putin before they...
This after him. So, if it look bad, F it.
You gonna hear about some real beats.
Oh, forget about it.
I don't know if y'all remember the story where it was saying where... I don't know if he was a reporter cat, but he said that he was poisoned by the Putin.
I forgot about all that poison. Yeah, Putin love to poison somebody quick. That's correct. And if I could, sir,
right. Go ahead.
And I was gonna say this is so close to how the last time when we came close to World War III in the '60s, with the same scenario with Cuba, America was always threatening to invade Cuba. Always threatening. And so Russia put nuclear weapons into Cuba to stop America. But America was going to invade Cuba before the weapons got there.
Right.
Because once the weapons get there, you can't do anything about them. And so once Iran gets nuclear weapons, they'll be safe like China, and safe like North Korea, and safe like Pakistan.
And safe like Cuba.
And safe like Cuba.
Because there's no way Cuba would not have been invaded from the 60s to now. There is no way they would not have been invaded. If Khrushchev didn't get them nukes down there, he did not turn them shit. And listen, when they found out the nukes was going down there, they already had them. Which is what they, you know what I mean? They stopped the second wave of nukes coming. Right. But the first wave of them nukes, they got them suckers in there. If they had not gotten them in there, brother, Cuba would have been back in the hand. Let me tell you, Cuba was about to be what Israel is to the CIA right now.
That's right.
Because that was the mob and the CIA that was going to take over Cuba.
There you go.
And Cuba was going to be a country outside of America's law, operating for America, like a proxy nation.
Yes.
And they would have, brother, they was going to have, it was going to be casinos, whores. I mean, it was going to be a mess in Cuba. You know what I mean? And they still starving and struggling, I'm sure, because of course there's about a gazillion embargoes against them. But brother, they would have been wiped out.
They're safe from America's invasion.
There you go.
And America's aggression tells everybody, you better get nuclear missiles or else you're not safe. Cuba is safe 90 miles from America because they have nuclear weapons.
That's it.
And Russia. So Iran, in essence, has got to do it. If not, they're going to be invaded if they don't get them.
Yeah.
Because America is just so aggressive that what else are you going to do? If you don't want regime change in your country, you got to find a way to get a nuclear weapon. And that's all this says. All this says is get one fast. Right. Because America is going to bomb you unless you get one, which is why there's war. Which is, if you want peace on earth, then somebody else has to be in charge. Like America makes countries get nuclear weapons.
Yes.
Like they force, if you don't want one, you have to get one.
You ain't got a choice.
You don't have a choice.
If you on the block and you got a 9mm and everybody else got an AK-47, come on. What you gonna do? You gonna just still be running around with your little 9, hoping you gonna be able to defend yourself if one of these fools pop off with an AK? You got to go get you an AK so that the playing field could be even, and the same goes with nukes. If there's nukes in the neighborhood, they want nukes too. You know what I mean? Otherwise, North Korea, another one, doing what he wanted to do.
What do you feel like doing?
You know what I mean? Doing what he wants to do. You know what I mean? Because he got nukes. And brother, it's once again, it's the Lord. The Lord is forcing everybody because that's him mustering the host.
Yeah.
He gonna let everybody that can get a nuke so that they can all bring them nukes and point them all down there in the land of Israel. And you about to see a cleansing on this earth like you ain't never seen before. We ain't gonna want war for 1,000 generations when the records of what these fools did on this earth come out. We're gonna be like, how the hell did we let these idiots run the earth? It's gonna be that kind of scenario. Salah got you. Go ahead.
And in America, boy, they're gonna be caught off guard because the most dangerous terrorist in America is an American. And you got a lot of these white boys that just Arab sympathizers and Allah sympathizers and jihad sympathizers, and they the ones that's going to really take this thing up. Salaki, are you?
Can I get my oxen back up, sir?
Yeah.
I forgot about this story. I saw it in the car on the way over here. There is some UK artist. The brothers out in UK. Shout out to Captain Karathi over there. There's some UK artist that is giant over in the UK, and he has these concerts where he was screaming, death to the IDF. Is that the name of the Israeli Defense Federation?
Yeah. Israeli Defense Force. Yeah.
The Israeli Defense Force. He said death to the IDF and had hundreds of people screaming it in England.
Dang.
And recently he was scheduled to come do a tour in America, and Donald Trump stripped his visa of him and all his band. So now he cannot come perform in America because he said death to the IDF. And the Israelis put out a press release that said not only are they so disturbed by his anti-Semitism, which I don't know how the hell that's anti-Semitism to be against this government, right? But they said they were
not even his government, his military.
His military, damn right, his military.
It ain't even his government.
It's not even his damn government,
right?
They said they were especially disappointed by all of the crowd yelling it. Like there are so many people that hate that is so-called Israelis, and they activate them. It's a lot of them,
brother. If you see, they're not showing all the footage of them flattening Gaza. If you get a shot of what they imagine a city that you level the entire city for as far as your eye can see. Like, brother, I don't know if anywhere else on the earth that's been done. Even when they dropped nukes on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they dropped them from the sky and they detonated them above the city. So it wiped the city out, but it was above the city. But this, they dropped the bombs in the city. They didn't use a nuke. We don't know. But they dropped them bombs in that city, brother. It's like you see this thing, it's surreal. And here's what's so surreal about it. When you see it, you know that there are millions of people under that roof. There you go. That's a good shot. Look at that. Look.
It looks like Hiroshima. Like one of
That-
them old Hiroshima
yes.
footages.
That's as far as your eyes can see. And listen, and there are people under that. Some might even still be alive. Like there are bodies all under that. That's a tomb that you're looking at. It's, I mean, all look at it. And that's the beach. That was the beachfront property in Gaza to the Mediterranean. And they leveled it like you ain't never seen for as far as you could see. And that ain't even a good shot. That's an okay shot. Good shot, Morale, for pulling it.
Yeah,
but they got some shots out that you can't fathom somebody could be this evil.
I mean, there's probably, I don't know if the state of Israel is as Jewish as New York City is. I don't know. And if that Arab won that mayoral race in New York,
right,
there's people angry as hell at the Israelis.
Yes.
And you should be careful.
Yeah.
Shalom.
I mean, this is such a symphony of the Lord bringing everybody into the third world war. Like this right here, this could trigger a third world war. This could trigger the world saying, "Yo, fuck this." Excuse my friend. The world saying, "Yo, we not having this no more." You ain't gonna tell me there ain't Arab countries who are probably friendly to the Israelis right now, who are not saying to themselves, "There's no way we could just allow them to continue to operate," just like Hitler. They let Hitler run to the United States. Was saying to themselves, "If we let this cat run, he gonna overthrow us." So we got to, create a scenario like what happened with Japan on the West Coast. We have to let them bomb us so we can go in.
Can I back you up a little more? You know what really changed things with Hitler?
There you go, Murad. Now you look at that. Look at, that's like a nuclear weapon. Like, look at that, Murad. Like that is an aerial shot, probably taken by China. And look at the place. It's as far as your eyes can see.
And it's triggering so much hatred from a.
Go ahead, Naya.
It's triggering so much hatred, even from Americans. Hell, Jewish people is speaking against all the unaliving that they doing, and they even after all these pictures, General, they still dropping bombs. They just killed about 40 people over there in Gaza. Even in the war with Iran, they still dropping bombs on Gaza.
They can't. It's a bloodlust. They can't.
It ain't even no war. They keep saying the war on Hamas in Israel. It's just Israel killing them people, man. And they triggering so many enemies that it damn near starting empathizing with the Germans.
Yeah.
It's like damn near saying, I understand why the Holocaust could happen. You know what I'm saying? I yield.
Mayaka, if I could, there's no way that Muslim could have won the nomination for mayor in New York without the support of Jewish Americans.
That's right.
They had to vote for him.
Yep.
And he's a Muslim against the Israelis. And if I could back Commanding General YAHANNA up on one point. Before World War II, it was always a rumor of how evil Hitler was and all of the things that were happening to Jewish people. You know what changed everything? The videotapes of the concentration camps.
Yeah.
Right.
When people saw those skinny people in Dachau and in Auschwitz, oh, then it was time to drop nuclear bombs on the Third Reich.
That's right.
People are seeing these videos. They're seeing this, and this changes everything.
Yeah.
To look a witness.
Yeah.
A witness, it makes something that you hear about for real. And then before you know it, it changes your mind about the oppressor.
That's right.
Damn right. Y'all saw that video with the little boy over there in Gaza, right? So we're eating sand. We're eating sand. They won't let us get no food. We're dying, starving. We got to eat sand. He grabbed some sand, put the shit in his mouth, chewed it up, said, we're eating sand because they're starving us. And it was a whole rant. Like every time it come on, I got to turn the TV down because he screams so loud. Now, you think that ain't going to touch the people? Shit.
For 8 years, Jewish Americans were saying, my cousins in Poland are disappearing. My cousins in Germany, Austria disappearing. Everybody just ignored it. Then this tape came out. of when they liberated Auschwitz, with these people looking like skeletons, it was time to bomb everybody. Then all of a sudden, America bombed Hiroshima, bombed Nagasaki, and gave the Jewish people their own state. Took it from somebody else. These images, they move your heart. And I would be careful if I was them about doing this to people and there being witnesses to it.
Right.
You could start World War III.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And you can barely hide it these days because of the drones. People got drones now. They can fly drones all in the area, in the zone. That's a drone probably right there. Flew right on into there, took all them photos. And brother, remember now, the United States backed this. The United States financed this. So if they'll finance this on the Palestinians, what will they finance on you? Some Iranians in the middle of the desert, brother, 300 feet under the ground trying to get a bomb under the site of the United States. That's what they over there trying to build a bomb on their own, trying to wire that shit up, do whatever they got to do because they see this.
Oh yeah,
and they know this could be them.
And
that's why Russia turned around and said, "Man, we'll just give them the bomb." You know what I'm saying? We'll just give it to them. You know what I mean? Like if black people leaders stop right there, we wouldn't be worried about anything right now. We wouldn't be worried about being overthrown. Wouldn't be worried about being put out the country. Wouldn't be none of that. It would have been like, what? Y'all want to pop off? You know, we pop off too. And everybody would have, they would have loved us. They loved our culture, loved our music, loved doing business with us, loved eating our food. But because you can't defend yourself, and Esau, boy, just like the scripture said, he's like a mighty hunter, meaning, and he's mighty in his hunt. He will hunt himself to starvation, like he did with Jacob. He hunted himself until he was ready to die because that's how bad he wanted to take the prey. And he's still the same. If you are a prey, he will hunt you no matter what. And the only way to not be hunted by him is to not be a prey. If you're not a prey, he won't hunt you. But if you look like a prey, he's going to hunt you. And brother, right now, we looking like the perfect prey as a people. Right now, we looking like we are people that he could hate because of our color. We are people that's near to him and prospering over him in many ways. And now, and do not have the power to defend ourselves against them. America decided to get rid of us. We have no power. Look what he's doing to I.S.U.P.K. We have no power to defend him, save the Lord. And brother, that makes you a prey. And that's why the Lord got to come deliver us. That's why we need a deliverance. All this deliverance and being saved. These people don't need to be saved. They bombing and killing people. How you need to be saved when you exterminating people off of the face of the earth? They don't need to be saved. The ones that need to be saved are us. Because we'll get exterminated, and nobody will care. They will be exterminated, and there'll be no defense. You had something you was holding? Go ahead. Please.
Please. So, yeah, he said, Shalom, is the valley of Jehoshaphat in Gaza? Someone in the comment.
No, not directly. If you're looking for the actual valley of Jehoshaphat, it's the southern part of the country, right on the border, the edge of what they call Petra, near the old land that Esau lived in. Is right above that land. So it's not actually in Gaza. So, yeah. But when they say that valley of Jehoshaphat, the Lord is talking about that whole area. Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, all that area right there, south, the Sinai, all of that is getting ready to get nuked. Every last bit of it. So it doesn't. So when it says in the valley of Jehoshaphat, it's not talking literally in just Jehoshaphat. That's a little city. This war gonna be the whole Middle East getting wiped out, and all the countries around it. So that valley of Jehoshaphat is almost metaphoric to say this is where it'll start at in this land, but it's gonna spread everywhere. You see what I'm saying? So I hope that answers the brother's question. I didn't mean to jump on y'all.
I didn't say anything. Good to go.
All right, let's keep going. How much time we got?
11:06.
Oh shoot, we already over the time. Boy, I know y'all ain't having as much fun as we have. We runs out of time, man. Brothers and sisters, man, walk circumspect. You understand? Let me tell you, if I could, real quick, I tell you the other part of what happened in the Lowe's. After I cursed the guy out, right, walked away, I went and picked up the tool anyway, went back to him, the two guys, and told them, well, the tool would be in the new one, wouldn't it? Because they didn't have the tool. So I got the new machine that had the tool in it. And the guy said, yeah. The other Edomite came over to me, and the other Edomite looked at me and he said, he's really not a bad guy. He's really not a bad guy. And then he came up to me and he said, you need to just take this one and bring the one you got back, like scam. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, that's cool. I said, I'm going to take it. And I'm going to just utilize it. Then he turned around and said, well, look, you could take the tool out of it and just take it. You just need the tool, right? He like talking to me like that. I said, no, man, I'm not going to do that. I said, man, I got too much integrity for that. I'm going to just buy the whole thing. He trying to help me steal. Okay. I said, no, I'm going to cover the whole thing. And he said, all right, no problem. He said, because that's what I would do. He put the tape on it and he gave me the tool. And it showed me that that's Satan's way.
Yeah.
If you have some integrity, help me out, Maya. He gonna make you. He gonna want you to be corrupt, to be evil, and especially if you stand on the evil he doing. Go ahead, Maya.
Right. And of course, they blaming the Hispanics on stealing from Home Depot so much that they gotta be on guard and have more security and check your receipts. But it's in house. It's them white boys working up in there stealing every goddamn thing, blaming it on the customer.
Yes, because he even said, "I'm surprised the tool is even in the box." Damn. Meaning they stealing it off the truck. Yeah. They load empty boxes on the shelf.
Go in there and buy an empty box.
Yeah. The tool being sold on Amazon. They sell you empty box.
Like Jenna, I was in I think it was a Home Depot years ago. I got a new oven, right? I got it at a discount because they had opened the box. So the box is open. I got it at a discount. But it was missing knobs, and the Edomite was telling me to take the knobs off the other ovens and put it on this one.
Right
now, of course, I ain't as good as my father, and said I was actually looking on the other ovens.
My ox stole a pallet of power tools from Home Depot.
I did not take anything. I did not take anything. I bought the pieces. I didn't take them though, sir. I didn't take them because thank the Lord they didn't have any more.
And if I could, you was finished, Maya. I want you to finish.
I was finished. I'm finished, sir.
Okay. What I was gonna say is that real quick. Remember our forefather Abraham, and I probably could pull this before we go. Remember our forefather Abraham, who would not take of the spoils. That's right. You understand? When he went and wiped out them 5 kings. Did I get that right?
It was a different story.
It might be a different story.
That's somebody.
The one way he said he would not allow them to get the glory of what the Lord did.
Con.
Ooh, that's an old school.
Yeah, they offered him. I think they offered him partnership or riches, and he said no. But I want no parts. I do it on my own because I don't want nobody to say they helped Abraham. I want the Lord to get the credit.
See if you can find that.
And just in case they didn't hear me, sir, I did not take them parts.
Just to be clear,
misunderstanding.
And let me tell you something. As much as they demonize us, Maya, they have no idea how much self-integrity we have. As much as they want to look at you a certain way and treat you for the words that you said on that sidewalk, making the Jewish boy cry, they are never going to know the deep integrity you have as a man of the Most High. Brother, that's what we have to have inside us to overcome this evil that they want to draw us into. You know what I'm saying? Because, Lord knows what plot that could have been by Satan, not necessarily by the worker, but what if Satan decided to get one of us arrested over it or anything else? Every brother is extremely precious to the Lord right now. Was you able to pull it, your dad? Anybody know where that's at? Anybody in the chat? Where's Q at? Because that's an old school one.
Take of the spoil seems like it's in there.
Right. Where they tried to get him to take some of the spoil. Oh, man, we can't go off the air with a scripture out there like that. Come on, y'all. Let me see if I find it too, right? That's right. Give me back what you stole. What you said is dead on point. Somebody said Genesis 14:23. Officer Halakaman, is that it? 14:23. Somebody pull that joint. Right. Daniel told Darius to keep his goal as well. Big shout out to Mark Israel. It's a good point, brother. Yeah, let's read it. Okay. Let's read it.
The book of Genesis, chapter 14 and verse 23. That I will not take from a thread even to a shoe.
Go above it. We'll go above it just to be clear on the story, and we'll get ready to roll. Big shout out to Officer Halakaman. You did a great job with that. I appreciate that, brother. Go ahead. Damn right. Go ahead. You got it.
I'm going to start at verse 13 and drop down, sir.
Go ahead.
Genesis 14 and 13. And there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Manir the Amorite. So like verse 14. And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive.
He heard that Lot was taken captive by these different heathens that was in that southern part, Sodom and Gomorrah also. Go ahead.
He armed and his trained servants, born in his own house.
Right. He armed his trained servants in his own house. Abraham was a wise man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
318 and pursued them unto Dan. And he divided himself against them, and he and his servants by night, and smote them and pursued them into Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus.
Right. He ran them down in the north part of the country. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 16. And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot.
Right. He's got all their goods, brought it back, and then went also and got his brother Lot. That's why they came and told him. They came and told him, yo, Abraham, man, they done took over that area down there. They got your brother down there. You know what I mean? Lot. You know what I mean? Which was his cousin actually. But he was like, yo, you jammed up. And then he went and armed his servants, and they went down there and put business on them heathens and brought all the spoils back. And what did he say?
And his goods and the women also and the people.
Brought everybody back. Go ahead.
And the king of Sodom went out to meet him.
And once again, let me say this, to be clear, this is how you praise the Most High. Not by singing him and telling them how much you love him.
Right.
You understand? You praise the Most High by telling what the Lord did, by recognizing the things that he did, so that you and your people will have faith in the Most High to stand up in these dark times, man. Read.
From the slaughter of Charlotte Immer, and the kings were with him.
And the kings were with him. Go ahead.
At the valley of Sheveth, which is of the king's dale.
Come on.
And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God.
Go ahead.
Verse 19. And he blessed him and said, blessed be Abram of the Most High.
Right, but where's the part that you read it at? Can you jump to it?
Sir.
Drag long. Go ahead.
Verse 23. That I will not take from a thread.
One verse above it. I'm sorry.
Sir. Verse 22. And Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand unto the Lord, the Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth. Verse 21.
No. Stay where you at. Salakia. It's not in that part?
No, it is. But verse
23.
Was, exactly what you said.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Call him, Murrah. No, give him what you was giving him. I'm sorry. Everybody bear with us a second. Come on.
Verse 21. And the king of Sodom said unto Abram, give me the persons and take the goods to thyself.
Right. Give him, you know, he was trying to be right with Abraham. Yeah. Y'all went out there, y'all slaughtered them. Y'all take a piece of this. I'll take this piece. Give me my women back and all that. He knew he was going to lose all that if Abraham had not done that for him. Right. But here's how Abraham rolled. And this is how you got to be. Otherwise, a heathen will always own you. A heathen will always seduce you.
That's right.
Heathen will always put the trinket in front of you, and you will get played into being his servant. The Lord said it in Deuteronomy. If we didn't obey him, then the heathen that is among us would get up above us very high, and we would come down very low. This is how. He get it by what your eyes see and what your heart desire, and he provided for you and capture you in slavery under their nation. Go ahead,
verse 22. And Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand unto the Lord, the Most High God, the possessor of heaven and earth, that I will not take from a thread even to a shoe latch.
That's a man. That is a man. You hear me? He went out and slaughtered these people who came up against him. You understand? Rightfully, because Lot was there.
Right.
His people was in there. He went in there and smoked their ass. And he was right to go smoke them. But he said, all this heathen stuff going on, I ain't touching a shoelace of that. I done lifted up my hand to the Lord for the Lord to deliver my brother. I didn't lift up my hand to the Lord for me to get spoils from you. You can't pay me nothing for me to be delivered. Only the Lord can pay me to be delivered. I didn't go in the power of what I was going to gain from you. I went in the power of the fact that if I have faith in the Lord going to deliver me up out of it. And that's how Abraham rolled. That cat was bad as shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's a man right here. Go ahead.
And that I will not take anything that is thine, lest thou shouldest say, I have made Abram rich.
Listen, brother, he want to make sure that's how you give the Lord glory.
Damn right.
This is how you praise the Lord. You don't take a gain from no heathen. You understand? You stand and build on your own with your brothers, and you give the Lord the glory. When they say, how did this get built? The Lord. How did you find this knowledge? The Lord. How did you set yourselves up? The Lord. Why are you brothers so strong? The Lord. That's how you set up. Not no heathen's money. That's right. Not something you gain from a heathen. Be strong, man. Be a man. And brother, you're going to watch the Lord do wonderfully with us as a people, and we need to be those people now. Go ahead and finish what you was bringing out.
Sir. Verse 24. Save only that which the young men have eaten.
Right. Just what my men had to eat while they was in the battle, which was right to do. We in the battle. They ate what had to be eaten, but they didn't take a gain from it. So, yeah, they had to eat. They was doing all the killing. No problem. But we didn't want nothing from you. He was cold, brother, when it came to them heathens. Go ahead.
And the portion of the men which with me, Anar, Eshcol, and Maner, let them take their portion.
Let those brothers take their portion. With me, I did this with the intent for the Lord to receive the glory, and for it to be clear that the Lord delivered Lot by my hands. It was an amazing story. I just had to add that to what we're saying. So keep your integrity. Don't steal because it's an opportunity to steal. Don't do it. Don't do nothing that lowers your integrity before these heathens that you don't have to do. You understand? And watch the Lord work with you. You understand? This is your time now. The Most High getting ready. They trying to evict you. The Lord is getting ready to evict them. That's right. And watch it happen before your eyes. Go ahead. What you need, You good to go? I think we are out of here, man. Shadrach, 2 Kings 5:16. I'm reading it once we go off the air, man. Hey, y'all, join us every Monday night. You know how we do. 9 p.m. every Monday night. Heavy hitters always in the building. General Muhammad holding it down. General Maka Alaka holding it down. General Hazayan holding it down. My main team up in here at night, yo, they wrote, y'all, man, they burn hard at night. Officer Marah, Officer Yediah, Officer Ibahaya, Officer Mathumya holding us down. Every week, man, Monday night, join us live on the Black Watch Show, man. This is a great time to be in, man. You know what I mean? Raise your spirit up in righteousness, fam. Shalom.